Hello everybody, this is Havoc. Welcome to another Warhammer update video. I hope you guys have been enjoying the thumbnail videos that I have put out so far. And yesterday, Creative Assembly released the Chaos Warriors campaign walkthrough. And rather than just let the video play, I'm just going to put snapshots of the video and then kind of go into details and commentary of what I liked about the Chaos Warriors. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. For one thing, I've been excited, and I knew they would do Chaos Warriors, especially since it is now going to be a free DLC package, the faction, up to a week after Warhammer launches. So if you pre-ordered, you obviously were already going to get it, but they released, obviously, the what I'm trying to think of, the ability to be able to get that faction a week post-launch. So that is good. I know a lot of people complain about that. That was a huge complaint among Total War players. So I hope you guys enjoyed that walkthrough. If you're now watching my video as a commentary of the video, go ahead and go over to Total War channel and go and watch it. It's very quick. It's only 8 minutes, which I don't really remember how long the greenskins or the vampire counts or any of those were, but it seems short. Not a problem. I'm okay with it. So there were a few things that were cool. We're going to go ahead and start with the Exalted Hero right off the bat. The Exalted Hero is just like another agent. We've seen the agents before, what they can do. They are essentially, this Exalted Hero himself was essentially a priest. Excuse me, guys. And he is spreading he's spreading chaos corruption. And what's cool about that is eventually you get to a point where it leads to a rebellion. The rebellion will produce a AI-controlled Chaos Lord. That's very cool. I don't necessarily believe that he will be on your side. So if you had, I don't think he'll be working in tandem with you, the rebellious Chaos Lord. But it's nice to know that you can do that, so you can weaken their forces a little bit, weaken the areas, so they'll focus on that, because obviously Chaos is decently, I wouldn't say overpowered, but they are a overpowering race. And to fight them, even a rebellious lord, is probably going to be pretty difficult. So that's a diplomatic way to do things. You could just put an agent in the middle of the Empire's factions and just unleash hell, essentially. I mean, quite literally unleash hell through AI-controlled Chaos Lords. Next up, we got the Chaos Corruption, just like the Vampiric Corruption. Vampiric Corruption, you had things turning dead and just nasty cobwebs, things like that. Chaos Corruption, hell is opening up. You have lava blowing out. You got lava. You got cracks opening up in the earth. You got portals. You got things like that. I think it'll be really, really cool. I think late game, it'd be cool to take some screenshots of how everything is, assuming that your vampire counts are open and are still alive in your campaign. Because I want to see the terrain mix. Even seeing what Chaos and Vampire Corruption looks like when they're butted up against each other. I think that'd be pretty cool. Next up, tech, for the most part, with the Chaos Warriors, is primarily focused on units, on recruitment, and you have to use Chaos Favor to use that. So I'm assuming you get Chaos Favor from completing quests, from completing from possibly raising settlements, slaughtering units. The Chaos are all about death, more in a different way than the Vampire counts are. So I would imagine that there are going to be very many ways, there has to be very many ways to gain favor, because in the screenshot that I have up, the last tier is 40,000 favor, so that's a ton of favor. So there's got to be ways, especially late game, to gain tons of favor that will allow you to take on those last tier tech things. So that's cool. Tech is focused a lot like the greenskins are. In my opinion, they're more focused on making better units rather than improving civil things as a whole. Speaking on civil things, they are a horde faction, the Chaos Warriors, much like the Huns were, and many of the other factions in Total War Attila. But I think these are actually the only actual horde factions. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not quite sure that the greenskins are a horde-esque faction. I think they just have to constantly kill and be in battle. So as a horde and as the Chaos Warriors, their building chain is very similar. You can only improve your buildings when you're encamped, and those buildings primarily focus on recruitment and upkeep reductions rather than civil things. You're not going to make a whole lot of money. In fact, in the video, he said very few buildings generate income. So they're going to be focused on, but if you think about it, if you are debuffing recruitment costs and upkeep costs, you are making money. Or I guess you're not spending as much money, so you should be able to make some more. Pretty plain and simple. And you know what? Actually, I'm actually going to... You're going to hear this late in the video, like, what the heck? I'm just going to have the video rolling in the background. I think that's just easier. And so, pardon me. You'll have to get frustrated at me right now because I'm not going to showcase the things. You'll see them as the video goes on. There won't be any sound or anything, so you'll just hear me blabbling on. So in order to maintain income, you're going to want to raid, you're going to want to sack, you're going to want to, you're going to get money from battles, which I think is a cool aspect that they haven't had before. Getting money from a battle, that makes sense. You're going to automatically loot, whether you want to loot or not. And it's also a good way for the greenskins and the Chaos Warriors to generate some income fairly easily. And like he said, you'll be in a deficit. You'll be in a deficit probably with the Chaos Warriors. It's just from raiding and sacking and looting, you'll be creating so much more income that deficit, you won't really feel it, hopefully. And that also means that you won't really be able to stay in one place very long. There's another thing that I thought was really cool. Growth with the Chaos Lords is not by buildings. You will not be able to create growth through your buildings in the hordes. Rather, through the skill tree of your heroes. The skill tree, I think, yeah, of the heroes, I think it is. So your heroes will stay with you. They never, I don't think the legendary lords will ever die. They may get wounded. But, so that skill tree will always be there for your horde, which I think is really cool. And so you can buff up your growth using your heroes and lords. And then also by raising settlements. The Chaos Warriors are unique in that the raising settlement ability gives you a decently substantial boost to growth, and that's essentially that's the main thing on how you'll grow your horde. So it gives you an incentive to raise more buildings rather than establish a faction backing behind you. You're not going to need it, I don't think. So it just makes sense to just raise buildings, grow your horde that way, and building turn does not take very long with the hordes. It just is dependent on growth, which is dependent on raising and your skill tree. So that's a cool little balancing act there for their growth, so they're not too OP right off the bat. Last, and there's a couple of more things. You got your Awaken tribe. So this is a cool feature. When you take over, especially in the Norska region, when you take over a settlement, when you win, you have the option to awaken a tribe, and you awake a tribe that is loyal to you, that is a Chaos Norska tribe, essentially. And I don't think they're like your client state. In the video, he said a military alliance. So I don't really know the advantages of awakening a tribe unless they are a client state, in a sense, and they're generating income for you. That's the only real way that I can see it being favorable to awaken a tribe. But we'll see. I guess there is one. I have it in my notes here. Read your notes, dude. So the advantage to awakening a tribe, and this is... I feel like an idiot now, so you'll have to pardon me. But it's cool because when you awaken a tribe, you get a very highly advanced replenishment rate. And from what he said in the video, that's going to be there the whole time. So you could awaken a tribe. If you're having a hard time, say you're taking on a faction in the north area that's just really powerful, you just can't for whatever reason get through to them, and you're taking heavy losses, you could potentially take over a minor tribe, someone that's smaller, awaken the tribe so they are allied to you, and you will get an advanced replenishment. I mean, I think you're talking 11-12%. So that's really fast. You could recharge units super fast and just hit them and keep pounding them because your enemies will not have that replenishment rate. So that's pretty cool. I guess that makes it worth it. It just depends. You would have to strategically do it. You're not going to want to establish fiefdoms or whatever all in the north. It's just not going to work, in my opinion. And then last but not least, which is my most excited part, I'm so glad they did it this way. In the video, you saw the little fiery particles around both of the hordes. They were too close together. In Total War Attila, the very, very annoying thing that I did not like about the Huns and the White Huns is that when two hordes were in the same region over a turn, they got rivalry and infighting, and they suffered income as well as replenishment, which I kind of thought was BS because especially in the Middle East and in Africa in Total War Attila, you had huge regions in which it would take 3 or 4 turns to get across, and you may not have the option without significantly threatening your hordes to have them in the same. I mean, you sometimes had to have them in the same region. So I think what they did here, and I think it's a smart move, is rather than being in different regions, they have to be decently far apart. In the video, it's not very far apart at all. I mean, they were right butting up next to each other. So you could butt up next to each other for a battle, split them apart in the same region just far enough to where they aren't having that rivalry status, and you'll be good. I think that's a smart move, CA. I completely agree with it, and it will make the Chaos Warriors much, much easier and much more fun to play as, because it really sucked as the White Huns having that region-long, region-wide infighting debuff. So guys, I know I drained a little bit beyond. I just restarted the video and just let you roll through it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my commentary on the Chaos Warriors. I will be playing as these guys. I am going to put up a faction thing, a video later, probably at the beginning of next week, just going over everything. There's a lot of things that I still have to kind of figure out. I do want you guys to vote for it. I'm being selfish, and I want to just do it without voting so I can play the ones that I want to play, but that isn't really fair to you guys. I want you guys to be involved in that. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, go ahead and look at those thumbnails. I think they're pretty cool personally, and I think they work very well. And be on the lookout for the rest of them on Thursday and Friday. Other than that, guys, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. This is Havoc, and I am out of here. Peace.